Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video we are going to be trying the brand new Valentino concealer. I am super pumped for this one. I look all weird because I already have primer and foundation on, but obviously I couldn't put the concealer on without filming, so just bear with this face for a second. This new concealer I have been super excited about because I tried the Valentino foundation in store at Sephora, like in the back of my hand, not a big deal, but the texture of it felt so amazing that I questioned myself because I never bought it when it first came out. I just wasn't that excited about like Valentino beauty in general. And well, I feel like I've been right about like majority of their products. The foundation is now a regret. With that said, I am totally getting that foundation at some point because I need to try it, but the concealer just came out, it is brand new, and it is the perfect opportunity for me to try their complexion products and to make a video of it. I got the concealer in the shade Light Neutral 3. LN3, and this concealer is called the Very Valentino Concealer All Day Light Lasting Covering Concealer. I believe I read somewhere that the concealer was medium coverage, so let me make sure about that. It says here that the concealer has a radiant finish, a cream formula, it's hydrating, long wearing, and it does have a medium coverage. It is a multi-use creamy lightweight concealer that delivers medium coverage and brightens skin's radiance for a creaseless finish that lasts all day. It says it's formulated for normal, dry, and combination skin, so if you're oily this might be a bit too hydrating for you. And it's got caffeine and vitamin E to provide an immediate brightening and revitalizing effect for a wide awake look. It says vitamin E provides all-day hydration and comfort, and it's got something that they called the Roma Light Complex, which they trademarked, and it is light reflecting, color boosting pearls that enhance skin's natural radiance. The concealer retails for $35, which I feel like it's pretty good for a luxury brand. The Valentino makeup line definitely has very luxuriously priced items in there. And then it talks about the applicator being shaped like a feather, which I'll show you guys in a second. I'm actually very happy to see that in the description of this concealer it doesn't claim to be creaseless, because majority of them do, and they're all lying, so I trust you a little more now. Anyways, take a closer look right here at what the little box looks like. As I said, I got mine in Light Neutral 3. And once we get it out of the box, here is what the packaging looks like. I will say one thing that kind of throws me off a little bit about the Valentino packaging is that the red plastic that they use for their products feels cheap. You know, there's cheap plastics and then there's like more luxurious plastics. Like for example, I would consider the Pat McGrath Mothership palettes to be packaged in like luxuriously feeling weighted plastic. And that's not the case for these. This honestly doesn't really make any difference when it comes to the actual product, but it is a luxury product, so I want you to kind of feel the concealer with me through the camera. The plastic cap right here, it just doesn't feel luxurious. The bottle could also be made out of glass, and it is made out of plastic. So just keep that in mind. I feel like there's luxury products that feel a lot more weighted and luxurious than this one does. But then again, I complimented the price for not being overly expensive, so maybe the packaging is part of the reason that this is not a $60 concealer, for example. While we're in the subject of Valentino, I purchased this myself from Sephora. And by the way, if you're interested, if by the end of this video we decide that this concealer is worth it, the link to the concealer is going to be down below. And I also wanted to quickly talk about something that they did send my way, and I have been loving it lately. I mentioned this when I unboxed it on my Instagram stories because I was so excited, and I must say, now that I've had it for a few weeks and I keep using it, I have been in love with it, okay? Anyways, I'm talking about the Valentino fragrance. I don't even know what this is called. I'm about to look it up. They sent this one, which is a women's fragrance, and then they sent a men's fragrance as well. So my husband has been using this one, and this smells like a sexy man. When I first got the two of them, I actually loved this one right away, even more than mine, because when you smell this, and you don't even have to smell it on someone, like just from the bottle, it smells like the sexiest man you've ever seen. It is so good. We were smelling it the first day. My mother-in-law concurred that this was even better smelling in our opinion, than the women's one. However, I have fallen in love with this one too. Let me read you. I know this is a concealer review, but I just figured this was the perfect opportunity to mention this. So the name of the fragrance is Donna Born in Roma Intense Eau de Parfum. This retails for $130. Well, there's different sizes on the Sephora website. I will actually link both of them down below in the description box. This is a layerable scent and it is a floral scent. It says that the scent type is warm florals, but I actually feel like it's a lot more like vanilla-esque with a few flowers in there than a warm floral. But maybe a vanilla with flowers is what a warm floral is. I don't know, I'm not great at perfumes, but it smells so freaking delicious, and I am gonna spray it on myself because I don't have anything on right now and it smells so good. Oh my god, okay, I can't stop. Oh, it smells so good. So the key notes are vanilla, jasmine, and benzoin. And I know that I'm a jasmine girl. Majority of the fragrances I love have jasmine in there. I also know that I love sweet perfumes and majority of those have vanilla in them, so I know I love vanilla. Benzoin, I'm not sure what that smells like up hard, but with the vanilla and the jasmine in here, it must smell delicious because I love it. So anyways, I need to get back to the concealer. My point was that if you love vanilla floral scented things, I think you are absolutely going to love this one, and I totally recommend that you check it out. Also check out the Guys fragrance, and I believe they have travel sizes for both of these. So if you just want to try them, you definitely can, and I totally recommend trying them first before you like splurge on the fragrances, but I promise you, you're going to love them. These are delicious. Unless you hate vanilla and jasmine, in which case, please stay away, you know? Anyways, I'm sorry for the derailment, and this is obviously not sponsored or anything. I just figured Valentino concealer, the Valentino fragrances I've been loving, let's put them together. Let's get back to this one though, and the next thing I'm going to do is just apply it, but because it says it's a medium coverage, I am going to use a bit of color corrector underneath one of my eyes. That way I can try it with and without a color corrector. I do use my color corrector underneath all of my concealer, so I'll probably prefer it like that. But, you know, we can try it both ways. So I'm just going to apply my color corrector with a brush under this eye over here and in the inner corner. I love putting color corrector on the inner corner of my eye, I must admit, because this is like the darkest area for me and it just brightens up everything, especially once I put the concealer on top. Look at the difference that color corrector alone makes. Let's go on with the concealer now, but I haven't forgotten, I need to show you the feather applicator that they put on here. So that's what it looks like. It's just a doe foot applicator with a curve, I guess. So I'm going to... Oh, it looks like this is going to be bright. I'm going to add a bit more back here and a lot on the inner corner. And with the tip of my sponge, I'm just going to blend it in place. I can tell you right away that it felt very, very thin going on. And as far as the coverage is concerned, if you have dark circles like me and you like to use color correctors, I would definitely use it underneath this one because we did a layer of it and you can totally still see all of the darkness underneath. I'm going to do a second layer of it right here. It also doesn't help that it's a bit too light. You guys know when the concealers are a bit too light, I feel like the shadows come out even faster underneath. But anyways, let's see if it's buildable. So second layer, and with whatever's left, I'm going on to my eyelid. And check it out right there. I definitely love how light the texture is. I love that it has a nice radiant finish to it. What I don't love is that I can still see my dark circle kind of peeking through a bit underneath, but maybe once we put it on this eye, which has a color corrector on, that won't be an issue, and in that case I feel like I'm really going to like this one. So I dipped my applicator a couple of times once again, and I'm just going to blend it with the sponge. I totally feel like it definitely looks better on the color corrected side than on the side without the color corrector. You can see a lot more like purpley hues coming through here. Maybe I'll do a couple more layers because it's so thin that I don't think that'll be an issue. I just want my dark circles to actually be covered and then we'll worry about creasing. Okay, so after blending out that other layer, here's what things are looking like. I feel like my under eyes look much better. It's not buildable up to a full coverage by any chance, but it is buildable to a solid medium coverage. Not a high medium coverage either. I would say just medium. So far so good though. It definitely does look very brightening, and it also feels very thin on the skin and very hydrating, which is ultimately one of the things that I prefer when it comes to concealers. I love it when they're thin. I love it when they look glowy. I love it when they feel hydrating underneath my eyes. So it does check all of those boxes. I just wish it had just a tad bit more coverage. But if you're someone who is not too worried about dark circles underneath the eyes, if you're blessed like that, then this is probably not going to be a big concern for you. So let me go ahead and set it with some translucent powder. And I'm also dying to set my face. I look very glowy. I did prep my skin today with my Danessa Myricks balm, which I love to cover up my pores and all of that. And I am further testing, of course, the new Say Beauty foundation. I have shade number 8 on today. It looks really nice and glowy. I did shake it today. I didn't use a glowy primer underneath, so we can see that the glow is definitely all the foundation, and I'm still really liking it. I'm not planning to set my whole face with powder today. I think I'm just going to set the center of the face and see how the foundation wears that way. So for translucent powder, I just want to go with one that I love, which is my Laura Mercier Tone Up Rose Powder. And with my Wayne Goss number 3 brush, I'm going to pat this powder right underneath my eyes, just patting it right here. And I'm going to set the eyelid as well, patting the center of the forehead. So let me go ahead and take a close look to my under eyes real quick. It definitely looks really good and really natural. I don't think anything is creasing too badly. I do definitely see the missing like color corrector underneath this eye very clearly, because this one looks like it has a lot more coverage. I would definitely use this one with a color corrector if that is something that you like to do, because here I can see all of the purple hues coming through. Once again, other than it not being a full coverage concealer, I am really liking the texture of it. So I'm just going to finish up my makeup look. I'm going to do a bit of liquid bronzer and blend it out. Maybe I'll set that with some powder bronzer on top. I definitely want to put on some blush as well. You can find all of these products linked down below in the description box of the video. I'm back and I finished the rest of my makeup. I added some eyeshadow, lashes, and I did a lip look. And let me give you guys my thoughts on this Valentino concealer. If I had to rate it right now, I would probably give it like an 8.5 out of 10, because I do like majority of the qualities about it, but it's not a 10 for me, just because in all honestly it just lacks a bit more coverage. Like, I am a fan of medium coverage concealers. One of my all-time favorite concealers, actually my all-time favorite concealer, is the YSL Full Cover Concealer, which it comes in a pen and it's got a medium buildable coverage. I feel like I can get that one to look a bit more full coverage than this one. I do still prefer to use it with a color corrector underneath, so I'm not a stranger to medium coverage concealers. Love them. They are some of my favorites. However, this one in particular, even though it builds up a little bit, it doesn't build up to like my sweet spot. It doesn't build up to my perfect liking. Again, if you don't have a huge concern of under eye circles, which I do, then this might be a perfect concealer for you to try. I do, however, like a bit more coverage in my concealers because I want my under eye darkness to be fully hidden. Now that my makeup is fully done, this is brightening enough. It looks really nice, but I'm just telling you where my head is at. So those are my thoughts. I've been filming like short videos in between filming this one, so it's not been like 2 hours since I've been wearing it, but I will come back in like 4 to 5 hours to do a final wear test on this one and see if it's faded throughout the day or anything like that. So far so good. The coverage that it did build is still there, and once I put the powder on it and everything, it looks nice and natural. Update on the foundation, I didn't powder my whole face, so you can see that it's still really nice and glowy over here, and to me it looks beautiful and natural. This video is not about the foundation, but I'm just like testing everything in my head right now. Anyways, I will see you guys later for a final wear test, but that is where my thoughts are at the moment. Did I maybe forget that I had to come back for a check-in? Maybe. I had family over and it totally skipped my mind to come back to finish this video. It is now almost midnight, but I'm back. I'm back, and most importantly, I haven't taken my makeup off yet. So we now have a several hours wear test on this concealer. Let's check it out. The main thing I wanted to check for is that it didn't fade, and it has not faded. It looks similar to the way it did when I first put it on. It has creased a bit, since then. You can see it right there, but I feel like most concealers do that on me. That's not major news right there. The main thing was that it did not fade at all, which was what I was testing for. So that is good news right there, which means that my thoughts stand the same when it comes to this concealer. Now I also know that it's long lasting, which is great. I like it. I really, really like it. The main issue I have with it is that I just wish it had a teeny tiny bit more coverage to be a bit better about like my dark circles. But besides that though, it's a pretty good concealer. I love the consistency. I love the way it blended. I love the way it wore. It just needed a bit more coverage for me to give it a 10 out of 10. So I'm still giving it an 8.5. If you guys liked today's video, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up before you leave. Also, if you're new to my channel, please don't leave without subscribing. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye.